Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to take a look at Dungeon World today. Just a quick look at it, introduce you all to it for the most part. So without further ado, let's open it up and take a quick look. Dungeon World is a simpler game than D&D. It's more story-based than anything else. But the D&D classes do appear in here. You got the Bard, the Cleric, the Druid, the Fighter, the Paladin, the Ranger, the Thief, the Wizard. And if you're a player, you only need the part about creating a character in the beginning of this book. But if you're the Game Master, you'll need to read pretty much the whole book to get familiar with it. There are some things in this book that you could take out and use for a more complicated game like Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, Starfinder, any of those. But it mostly deals with like world building or different organizations. I've used them in the past, the process that this book has for them. I believe they are called fronts. There's adventure fronts, there's dungeon fronts, there's organization fronts. I'll go deeper into the fronts in another video. Now, as far as the players go, you select what class you were going to be. I wonder if there was races in here. It's been forever since I looked at it. Okay. There's moves you can do as a player. There's specific moves you can do as a game master, but you're supposed to give them unique flavors so the players don't catch on that you're using the same moves over and over again. So the flavor would change how they perceive it. The basic moves, you got the hack and slash. When you attack an enemy in melee, you roll your roll plus your strength on a d10 or higher. You deal your damage to the enemy and avoid their attack. At your option, you may choose to do plus 1d6 points of damage, but expose yourself to the enemy's attack. On a 7 through 9, you deal your damage and the enemy makes an attack against you. So that was the hack and slash. You got the volley, which is your ranged, which is pretty much similar. You got your defy danger. So this just gives you some examples. There's the defend, and there's a lot more listed. And you'd pick one or a couple of those. I'm not sure how that works. It's been forever since I've looked through this book. But I want to expose you guys to as many game systems as I can, so that way you have lots of options to take interesting game material that's been created to repurpose for your own games. Or if the game is interesting enough, you could just pick up a copy of, in this case, Dungeon World, and it is published by the Burning Wheel. It was a good purchase for myself at the time, because I did make lots of uses of the fronts for about a year or two, and then I just moved away from it. I need to go back to it because it's a very easy way to build your world, and the advice they give for game masters on world building is very useful, a little bit more useful than some of the other systems like Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder. So I'd recommend it for that alone. Now, if you want a easy to play system, especially one made for like kids in school, I would say this would be appropriate for anyone of middle school age or above. And if any one of my friends wanted to run this, I would be happy to play it for a few game sessions, if not a whole campaign. as your character levels up, your basic attacks get more flavorful. You do a little bit more damage, or you get a new effect, like you can say trip when you attack now and things like that. So there are ways that your character improves. If I remember correctly, the Game Master usually doesn't have to roll any attack rolls in this. It's all up to the players on their own dice rolls, so combat is a lot faster. That's about everything I can recall about Dungeon World. If this video was useful to you, let me know in the comments below. If you're going to pick it up, let me know. The next video I do on Dungeon World will be the video on fronts and stuff. We'll go over that chapter in greater detail. I'll try to break it down as best I can and give you all plenty of examples, so that way you could make use of that the way I have. Until we all game again, guys.